Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan, and we are here to practice Tai Chi. I had a little trouble getting up this morning. Daylight savings time. So it's every year we do this. All right, so today we have the beginning set that we worked on yesterday. All right, the first part of traditional yang style and the first 3 moves. We're going to review all of that with our stretches and our leg sets this morning, and then we're going to focus today on those first 3 moves. We're going to focus on the internal work, not the external movements. The external movements have to be there, but we're going to pay attention to the internal work today. Let's get started. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Bend the knees just a little bit. Just a little. That's too much. Just a little bit so they're not stiff. Right? Hands down at your sides. Relax. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. Shoulders down. Pull up through the crown of the head. Hands circle to the front. And return to both sides. Up along center line. Stretch up, reach out over the legs, bend the knees, open the back, reach up, reach out over the legs. Don't try and just bend over. Really stretch out over the legs. We want to open the hip. Pull up, just reach out over your legs, make sure your knees are bent, keep going. Stretch all the way up, elbows drop down, fingertips down, hands return to your sides. Okay. This stretch does a number of things for us, just basic warm-up. Second warm-up set, legs a bit further apart. And I talked about this yesterday with the idea that we're transferring the weight. So bend into your right leg. This is my left leg. You're going to bend into your right. We're going to go together. All right? All your weight's over here. Push across. Don't push up. Push down and across. And again. And again. One more time. Alright, now, I talked about the circles that we use with this. Alright, so I have the circle, this is an outward circle now. An inward circle exists, and we can work on that, but not right now. Circle around this foot, circle around this foot, makes figure 8. Knee around the toes, the knee stays over the foot. And circle. Right knee circles around the foot. As it comes back, the weight transfers over here. Circle around the toes. Your knee circles around the toes. Left side, your left side, circle, push through, your right side, push through, to your left, circle, keep the circle, and sit lower. And keep the circle. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Center. And come on up. Alright, this circle pattern is something that we use everywhere in Tai Chi, right? So these kinds of simple practice give us the ability to take those movements out of the form, focus on them, and then when we put them back in the form, we can do them much more effectively, with much greater facility. Right? Walking sets, again, we use this everywhere. Feet about shoulder width apart, stick hands behind your back. Transfer the weight to the left leg, bend the knee. Turn the right toes to 45. Transfer the weight to the right. Shoulders align with the hip, hip over the heel, bring the foot through. Push. That weight transfer again. Straight. Place the foot. Step through. Bring it through. Place it. Push. And pull. Shift back. Alright, that's it. These 3 sets give us quite a bit of what we need for our foundations in Tai Chi practice. These simple moves. There's a lot there. Now, with our form, and we're going to do that in just a second, I want you to follow me through the form. We're going to go through the whole thing. And then we're going to go back and we're going to review those first 3 moves that we paid attention to yesterday. Only this time, we're going to pay attention to what's going on inside. All of the things that you can't see. Yesterday, we paid attention to the outer parts of the form. I'll review that with you, and then internal work. Relax. Relax as we go through this. Just relax. Think about open and close. That gentle rolling motion. Just very easy. Open, close. Feet together. Stand straight. Salute. Relax the body. Release the foot, open, arms up, and down. Shift left, open right. Step forward. Turn. Step forward. Turn the waist. Shift back. Press. Shift forward. Shift back. Push. Shift back, turn. Single whip. Extend in both directions. And come in. Circle up. And around. Out. In. Brush knee, out. Hamstring the loop. Brush knee again. Brush knee. Remember, under, not over. Hamstring the loop. One more time. Shift back, hold fist. Deflect downward, parry, and punch. Shift back, close the door, turn, crossing hands. Press down. And relax. All right, couple things with this. I'm taking short steps, and we'll pay attention to that. I'm taking short steps so that I can finish the form in the space that I have here. Yeah. The shape of the form, the shape of the movements needs to be consistent. Whether it's larger or smaller, it needs to be consistent. I'm going to give you an example. Use brush knee, because we're going to pay attention to this, right? As we start, we're going to brush knee, shift back, and brush knee, right? And shift, brush knee. This is repetition, brush knee. Yeah, I'm looking at the space on if I got here. Okay, and I don't have enough room to keep that large a posture and be able to finish the form in the space that I have. This is something that we learn. I'm calling attention to this because as we're going to practice again. I'm calling attention to this because it's something that we need to learn how to do. It's controlling your space. Whether it's me figuring out how big my step can be so that I can finish the form and be consistent in this space, or whether it's the same question in a different space, or whether it's me in a self-defense situation, looking at the space between me and wherever I need to go, or me and whoever it is that I have to deal with, right? That question of how much space do I have matters. And we want to be able to control it. We want our own space. We control our own space, right? So as we're moving through the form, this idea of keeping your step, keeping your form consistent has a side benefit. That side benefit is giving you that measure of your own space. If my step is this big, how much space do I need? How much space can I cover? If my step is this big, how much space do I need? How much space can I cover? And what's the difference between the two? What's it feel like for a smaller step versus the larger step? These kinds of things help our practice. They do, really. And again, with the applications and some of what we're working on today, we need to pay attention to that. All right. First three moves, follow along with me. I'm going to turn around. First three moves, follow along with me. And then I'm going to talk through them with the breath and the internal work. Stand straight, feet together. Salute. Transfer to the physical part now. Transfer the weight to the right leg so you can release the left. Open the left in center. Arms up. That little bit of resistance, so there's something there. They're not empty. Press down. Again, something there. A little bit, not too much. Sink into the left leg. Right hand circles, left hand comes across. Right hand opens out. As you transfer into the right leg, bring the left through. Step through, right hand pulls down, left hand comes up. Turn, left hand reaches out, right hand circles. It's ready to come up. As you step and transfer the weight through. So, I'm going over here. Alright, stop there. Just those three. Raise the hands, shift, transfer the weight, step through, transfer the weight, turn, and step through. There are several things to pay attention to with this. Not the least of which is that this one move has 4 applications in it. It's Where's Waldo, right? The 2 that we see most easily, this hand, pull down, this hand, ward off. Right. Ward off has a little bit of a bounce to it. It's a sense. It's not a, I'm going to bounce this like this, bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. No, don't do that. It's wrong. It has that buoyancy bounce to it. There's a sense of resistance and extension at the same time. You've got a beach ball and you tap it and it bounces. That kind of bounce. Okay? It's not forced. It's not a it's not a physical affectation, right? It's not something you can pretend to do with your arm. It comes from the lower tantian. It comes from the root, from your heel, from the whole body moving in the same direction at the same time. Pong, ward off, is one of the 13 postures in Tai Chi. Again, this is not pack the thing with your arm and tap it and make it push, 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 push. No. I've seen people do that. That's why I'm annoyed with it. Don't do it. Pong. Pong. Go away. Go away. Just go away. Go. Bye. Go away. That energy underlies the movement. It's not the movement. Okay? It's a distinction some folks may not be ready to make. I don't know. The energy that underlies the movement is not the movement. It's not. I can use my 2 hands with pong, ward off. I can use my leg, ward off. I could use my hip to ward off. I could use my shoulder to ward off. It's the underlying energy that comes with. Pull down has the same idea. Pull down, a little bit more direct. It's much more visible. Pull down. Pull down. Right? Much easier to see, much easier to understand the energy behind it. I can do pull down with two hands. I can do pull down with my arm. I turn my arm. If my opponent is in the right place, and it's not my opponent needs to line up, it's me knowing where the right place is, right? So I could use pull down with the entire side of my arm. It's the energy behind the move. Now, we're not normally going to think about doing that. It's available. It's possible. We have better techniques that go with. The point is, the technique and the energy work together. They are not the same thing. I'm emphasizing this because there's a lot of folks who have a laundry list of techniques. We got this technique, and this technique does this, and this technique does that, and this other technique does this, and so we don't have any of that. We have some. But our focus in Tai Chi isn't on this one thing for this one purpose, for this one situation, for this one instance. I've got this kind of energy that I can work with because I've studied it, I've practiced it, I've learned it. We're learning today, right? You're learning Peng energy, Peng, ward off. I've learned how to use Peng. Maybe not yet, but you will. Right? I've learned how to use Peng, and I can use it with this hand, I can use it with this hand, I can do all kinds of things with it that are not dependent on this movement. Okay? We want to cultivate that connection and that separation. All right. The other two, right here. Elbow. I could do something with my elbow, right? Shift. I'm not paying so much attention to this hand right now. This one. Okay? As I come up, that opportunity exists. It's not part of the way we practice this form. It is part of the possible applications in these simple moves. Shoulder, right there. All right, I could probably do something with my hip if I tried, but it's not really this movement is not really conducive to using my hip. Shoulder, elbow, ward off, pull down. These are 4 of the 8 directions. Ward off and pull down are cardinal. Elbow and shoulder are angular, the corners. We also have slice and pull down. Another version of pull down. All right. All of this together, right? Just these 3 moves. I'm going to start at the beginning. Just these 3 moves. Pay attention to the outer body, physical body. Open, center, arms up, and down. Shift, right hand ward off. Ward off over here. Yeah, all right. Elbow and shoulder are also possible. And turn. Step through. As we work with each of these moves, we have, I spoke just now about some of the energy and some of the applications. The breathing work that we do with these moves helps to cultivate our physical strength. It helps to cultivate this idea of open and close so that we are more effective in our physical moves. It helps to start the process of circulating the chi, the internal energy, not the physical energy. This is your internal energy. And it's different than the kinetic energy that we have with Punk, Sai, Leah, Joe. And we begin to start to connect the dots, right? So we begin to enable our mind and our intent. What am I thinking of doing? How do I want to do it? How am I going to do this? To drive what we're doing. We move it from, I need to pay attention to this physical movement, to, I'm going to do whatever it is. Right now, I will give the example of you're learning the alphabet, right? You're learning the alphabet. Basic moves, how to connect them, what goes on internally. We're now writing some simple sentences. This idea of the mind and the intent driving whatever it is, you're writing paragraphs and stories by then, okay? So let's do this again, and pay attention. This time I'm going to call out the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax. Pull up through the body. Breathe in. Not doing anything yet, just breathe. Breathe out. Nice full deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Salute. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Transfer the weight to the right leg. Release the left. Place it. Breathe out. Breathe in, raise the arms. Breathe out, press down. Breathe in, sink, open to the right. Breathe out as you transfer through. Shift, breathe in. Step through, breathe out. Alright, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to get a sip of coffee. Gotta have coffee. Gotta have coffee. We're going to do this again. And I'm going to use a method that I learned from Professor Liu Zhang. As he was teaching breathing, right? He would use the Chinese hu shi, breathing, hu, breathe out, shi, breathe in, right? And he would use that together with a tone so that we could hear how the breath was sustained through each movement. So I'm going to do that now. Follow along, feet together, stand straight. Salute. And I'm going to stop talking, and you're just going to hear me kind of this singing thing with hu, she. Hu, she. Hu, she. Hu, she. Hu, she. Hu, she. All right, you get the idea. The breath is long and sustained through each move. There's no sharp breathing. There's no ha, ha, ha. We don't do that. Shaolin does that. We don't do that. We don't. Tai Chi doesn't do that. We don't. Even in Fajin, you don't do that. Okay? So, put that over there. Extend the breath. There are spaces between the breath. We use those. There is a moment of clarity that occurs in that space. There is the potential for many different types of things. There's potential for many different changes in those moments. We use that as part of our meditation practice, part of our mindfulness practice in Tai Chi, to pay attention to, variously, our emotional body, calming, centering, our physical body, releasing tension, developing strength, developing flexibility. Our mental body, letting go of anger, tension, mental tension, worry, letting it go. Some things will come back, but we can let it go for a while. And there's also a spiritual aspect to our practice. It's not some out there in Never Never Land kind of thing, but there is a mystical quality to what we do. It's part of the tradition, it's part of the philosophy that comes with, that we are able, through practice, to develop skills in concentration, skills in looking at things in a different way, in a holistic way. And I don't say that with the same idea of just, it's holistic. It's a very deep, holistic idea that goes with Tai Chi in the philosophy. It comes from the Taoist teachings, and we can find it best in a particular phrase. Dao sheng yi, yi sheng er sheng san, san sheng wu shi. From the Tao comes one, from one comes two, from two comes three, and from three comes 10,000 things. This idea of being one, everything is one, and from the Tao, from the potential for everything, we get one. There's nothing here. It's only potential. And now we have one. If you have one, you have two. Right? There's two. There's two. There's one and there's not one. Yin and yang. We use this. It's supposed to sound simple. It's harder than it sounds. We use it. Let's practice again. Pay attention to keeping the breath as full and complete as possible. Use the full range of the diaphragm. This diaphragm moves the lungs. It's a big muscle. Sits up under the lungs. Use it. Drops down to pull in. Pushes up to push out. The lungs work from the back. Up in here. Open and close. As I talk about open the back, use the diaphragm, open the lungs. Same set. Feet together. Stand straight. Focus on your breath. Full and complete breathing. Just these few moves. Breathe in, salute. Breathe out. Breathe in, release the left. Breathe out. Breathe in, raise the arms. Breathe out, press down. Breathe in, shift, open. Breathe out, step through. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Feet together. Stand straight. Salute. Relax. Open the back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, relax. This coordination, physical movements, upper body coordinated with the lower body. Hands with the feet, elbows with the knees, shoulders with the hips. Breath with the movement in the correct direction with the energy. And I'm going to talk about that for a second. The energy here, and I'm going to use ward off going this direction. Ward off, right? pull down. Opposing forces. As I step through. Left side only. Right side only. And left side. Right side. Okay? And I needed some place to stick my hand because I wasn't going to put it up here. So nicely coordinated with the step. Transfer the weight. Everything all together, arrives all together, and you end up in a well-balanced, well-placed position. And you're supposed to. That's the goal. All right? If you're not, check yourself. What's the position that I should be in? All right? What's the position that I should be in? When we start out, feet about shoulder width apart, raise the hands, and lower. We haven't, other than getting ready, we haven't moved in space. We're physically standing still, sort of. My feet aren't going anywhere. Okay? Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, breathe in, pull up through the entire back, the whole body pulls up. As you press down, the entire body presses down. It's not just the arms. Shift, turn, 45 degrees. Okay? If this is straight, find your 45. 45. Transfer the weight, hip over the heel, shoulder over the hip, knee over the toes. So you pick your foot up. Place the foot. Where do I put my foot? I put it over here. I put it over here. Where do I put it? Where do I put the foot? I put my foot according to my leg and transfer through. Okay? How long my step is depends on how long my leg is. That's where my foot goes. Alright? Now, if my supporting leg is lower, right, if my knee's bent more, if I'm lower to the ground, then my step can be bigger. Okay? So, according to how much your supporting leg is bent, how long your leg is, that's where your foot goes. Don't overreach. Don't overreach. You need to know where your leg, what your leg will do. You really do. There are times later, maybe when we're going to move through space and go a little faster, your leg is not going to change its length for that. It's not. But we can use the energy to increase the step. Simple step. And shift left, open right. Simple step. Right? There's my foot. That's my stance. That's how bent my leg was. My leg was bent a little bit more when I sat down and extended it, right? Now, I'm going to move. I got 2 steps maybe. Yep, maybe. Shift, open, two steps. Go. That's when I talked about at the beginning, this idea where we're working this nice, easy push, transfer the weight, push, transfer the weight. That's what I just did. Yeah, we build on that. We're going to build on that a lot. All right, one more time. Pay attention to that kind of rocking motion and how that's connected to the breath. Feet together, stand straight. Relax. Salute. Breathe in and breathe out. Big deep breath. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Shift all the way to the right. Release the left. Breathe out. Center. Breathe in. Arms up. Breathe out. Press down. Breathe in. Shift left. Breathe out. Shift right. Step through. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very straightforward. The more you can connect the breath with the movement, the more you can extend the breath through the movement. The easier it is to move from body mechanics. I'm going to put my arm here, I'm going to bend my elbow, I'm going to put my hand here, to working with the energies and the shapes and the dynamics in our form. I will be back next Monday with the next couple of moves in our form. Tuesday, internal work again. Tomorrow I'm here with Wudong's 3 basic methods. Thursday, Xingyi, and Friday, Qigong. I hope to see you then. Thank you very much for being here with me today. Appreciate it.